Hey guys, and welcome to the new episode of my Doctor Who 60th Celebration reviews. This one's going to be a little bit different. This is going to be part 1 of a release. Part 2 is going to come out tomorrow, and it'll be truncated with the new story sort of review. But for now, we're going to be covering the first 3 episodes of a 6-part epic story, which takes place in the far, far future of the late 2100s or so. So, in perspective, it's not that far, I guess. But back then it was distant future, and even now it's still pretty distant future. But that's not really the point. This story is personally really great from what I've seen so far. Like I said, I've only seen the first 3 episodes, but it has a lot of promise, and I can't wait to dive into it. Before we begin, be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment, share, all that YouTube stuff. You know the drill. Be sure to check out my previous reviews and hit the bell notification so you always know when my new review drops. Let's get into the plot of the story. This story opens up in this mysterious kind of river kind of thing, where they land there, and this kind of swampy, rundown area of London, like central London, when there are some pretty eerie clues that they're not really in their own hometown of where they belong. It's later revealed that they're actually in the far future, a couple hundred years away, and this eerie atmosphere is actually really, really helped by the black and white kind of thing, because the first 6 seasons of the show were in black and white, and then black and white does a really good job of contributing to that eerie atmosphere, as well as that really creepy sign by the lake that says, "It is forbidden to dump bodies into the lake." That is spine-chilling. Anyway, this story basically then leads into them meeting some Robo-Men, who are later revealed to be working for a very mysterious someone that we talked about earlier in the series. Anyway, this story begins. They meet these Robo-Men, and these Robo-Men kind of take them away. Or not take them away, but they kind of they cause them trouble basically, and they end up getting saved by a couple of kind of ragtag kind of rebels that are apparently fighting against these villains, which I'll be revealing very, very soon. Very, very soon. That's basically part 1, which we then reveal the most terrifying villain of all in Doctor Who, or at least the most iconic, the Daleks, which actually leads to one of the most unforgettable cliffhangers in all of Doctor Who. Because if there's one thing that classic Doctor Who is known for, it's its cliffhangers. This cliffhanger begins with the Dalek, with the head of a Dalek kind of peeking out of a river. And then it's sort of slowly, you see the plunger kind of eye stalk, then you see the grills, and then you see the plunger and the whisk kind of gun. And then at least these sort of orbs around it, or its actual chassis, which shows the very slow reveal of the Dalek, which I really, really like. I feel in other kind of Doctor Who stories, especially New Who and New Doctor Who, they're kind of shoehorned in, which really does not help the story at all. But in this one, it contributes to the mystery and then shows the Daleks, which I think the better Dalek stories, by coincidence, they usually tend to do that. Episode 2, they're still kind of exploring this, thing. They meet some more rebels. They actually end up getting to the rebel kind of site, where they get to this rebel site, and they learn about this whole mission, how the Daleks have actually been kind of stealing humans and turning them into Robo-Men, which almost happens to the Doctor. Very scary. This story, basically what they do, the Daleks, is that they kind of escort human beings onto this flying saucer type spaceship, and then they're sort of mentally hypnotized into being a Robo-Man, which I think is pretty eerie, especially the part where, the Doctor is being kind of drugged, and then he's kind of dragged into, the operation theater, I guess you could call it, and that cliffhanger of him almost being converted, but then it being saved, or then by him being saved by some more of the rebels. Episode 2 and 3, they actually kind of begin budding a little romance between Susan and one of the rebels. They're not technically called rebels. I'm gonna call them rebels. His name is David. They start to have like a budding kind of relationship. They have some more one-on-one moments, and yeah, I think it's really sweet how it ends up kind of flourishing the relationship, like dropping hints and clues. But this episode 3 also, this half of the story also has a subplot of like the main leader of the rebels, I guess you could call him. He's actually building some sort of bomb, right, to help to kill the Daleks, destroy their chassis and stuff, but it doesn't really work. So that leads to some inner conflict between him and the Daleks. And episode 3 actually ends with him getting exterminated by the Daleks, which is really sad because you kind of grow to love him as a character. And, Barbara and one of the nurses, Jenny, they really kind of bond to him. That's all for these first 3 episodes of the Daleks' invasion of Earth. But so far, this is a really promising story, and I can't wait to see how it flourishes out. Find out what I think of it tomorrow. Peace out.